So today, Destiny wanted to visit the 9/11 Museum. I've had a lot of fear surrounding the events of September 11th since that day, so I was feeling a bit nervous. After breakfast, Destiny was about to call an Uber, but I suggested we walk to delay us going. Just our luck, it started to rain, so we decided to get a ride instead. As we got closer to the new World Trade Center, my nerves kicked in even more. The thought of being in the same place where the Twin Towers once stood was overwhelming. When I saw the building, I told Destiny I wasn't sure I could do it, but she encouraged me to face my fears. Walking into the museum, my heart was pounding. I stepped into the bathroom to take a moment to pray and give myself a little pep talk. Once we put on our headphones to hear the stories of what happened, I started to feel more grounded. We saw so many artifacts that were recovered after the buildings collapsed. As we learned more, my fear began to shift into appreciation for all the people who came together to help one another during such a challenging time. By the end of our visit, I realized that while those events were a tragedy, it was important for me to confront my childhood trauma. This experience turned out to be a step toward healing, and I'm grateful I went.
After thousands of YouTube videos, I built a serious collection of microphones. Let's get a little history of each. This is the Shure 55. Came out in the 1930s, became popular in the 1950s when Elvis started using it. The Shure 565 came out in the late 1960s, became the new staple in live performances. The Electro Voice 664 came out in the 1950s, but widely used in the 1960s. This microphone was so tough that you can nail a stage together and then still use the microphone for the show. The Electro Voice RA50, a reporter's best friend. This mic was engineered to eliminate handling noise and was the sound of street level news for 50 plus years. The famous Shure SM7 came out in 1973, originally a broadcast microphone. Although this microphone is fairly inexpensive, Michael Jackson used it to record this album, the Norman U87. This microphone came out in 1967 and still considered the go-to microphone. The Sony C38 came out in the 60s and took that studio sound to the street. This mic had a silky and polished tone that carried into this next mic. The Sony C800, a 1990s icon that made modern hip-hop and R&B vocals sparkle. It became the go-to for airy, intimate vocals, shaping the sound of countless records.
I woke up yelling because the family had to be at the airport in an hour, and I hadn't packed yet. I couldn't let us miss our flight, so I had to move fast. First, I dashed to the garage to grab my suitcase, but then I saw a lizard. I couldn't go on vacation knowing a lizard was living in my garage, so I had to catch it. I opened the garage, grabbed a mop, and chased it out like a pro. Then I ran back upstairs to pack my clothes. I had no idea what the weather would be like in New Jersey, so I asked Alexa. She said she couldn't connect to the internet. I couldn't go on vacation with the internet down. I raced downstairs to restart the internet. Finally, I used my phone to check the weather, and it said it was gonna be hot. I pulled out all my shorts and tank tops. Then I realized I checked the weather for Miami, and it was gonna be cold in New Jersey. I rushed back to my closet to grab my jeans and sweaters, but they were missing. Just then, my driver called and said he was outside. I had no choice but to pack my summer clothes and hope for the best. As I was taking the suitcases down, I noticed another suitcase. I opened it up, and there were my jeans. Turns out Destiny packed my clothes for me, and I just wasted an hour. So I'm feeling nervous this morning because we're taking our baby daughter to her first amusement park. I've always had a fear of rides breaking down, so I didn't want her to get on any. First, I tried to keep her entertained in this fun maze, but she quickly got bored. Then I brought her over to the goats at the petting zoo, but she lost interest after just a few minutes. I even tried to bribe her with gifts from the gift shop, but she still wanted to go on the rides. So I showed her the splash pad, hoping she would forget about the rides for a while. Just when I thought she stopped asking about them, Kaden came over and started talking about the rides. I had no choice but to take her on one. I got on it with her, and I might have been even more scared than she was. But thankfully, it ended quickly. Just when I thought it was all over, she said she wanted to go on the roller coaster, which is my biggest fear. I was biting my nails all the way to the front of the line. It turned out she was too small to ride, and I felt relieved that I didn't have to face that ride. But then Kaden said he still wanted to go on it. I was so terrified on that roller coaster that I fainted.
It's about time that dog disappeared. Now I can take a bath.
Oh, you wanna take a bath?
No,
you wanna take a
I
bath?
was just
Get in
playing.
there.
No, I was just playing, man. Whatever I ever do to you?
Shut up. Ooh, once that floater gets a little closer, it's about to be over. Ooh, now
Get
you
back.
trying to tell with me? I bet you didn't know dogs can
No,
jump.
no,
Ooh,
sorry.
yeah, I got you now. What's up? Where you go? Where you at?
He won't find me under here.
Say something. Where you go? This ain't over. I know you in here. I'm getting a little tired. Hold on. Where you at? Oh, you down there? You can't stay down there forever.
Back up.
You almost got me in. I was close. Yeah, scratch that leg. Scratch it.
You bit my leg.
That's what I thought. Who's bad?
When I was a kid, Halloween was serious business. One year I had my candy route planned, my vampire costume with fangs and everything. I was ready. But there was only one problem, Brayton, a school bully. The boy that once put fake spiders in my lunchbox. He showed up on my porch asking to trick or treat with me. And my dad, being way too friendly, said,
Well, of course you can join Desmond.
No!
Now I'm stuck trick-or-treating with Count Dorkula's #1 hater. Although Brayton was being Brayton, everything was fine until we got to Old Man Miller's house. The creepy house on the block that everyone said was haunted.
I bet you're too scared to knock.
What? I'm not scared to knock.
Then do it.
I knocked 3 times, and then all of a sudden, there was a growl. At first, I thought it was Brayton, but he was gone. The growl got louder, closer, like something big was breathing behind me. I dropped my candy and ran for my life. When I got home, I slammed the door and dove behind the couch. Then I heard someone laughing outside my window, and it was Brayton, holding a werewolf mask in my candy bag.
Happy Halloween, little boy.
When I was a kid, I could never figure out why my dad never complained about us eating all the snacks. There'd be nothing in the pantry, but somehow he was always crunching on something. But one day, I went to ask him for help with homework and noticed crumbs on his shirt. I said, "Dad, what you eating?" And he said,
Don't worry about it.
That's when I knew something was up. A few hours later, I heard this faint plastic bag crinkle coming from his closet. So I waited until he left the house, opened the door, and oh my goodness, he had chips, candy, cookies, he even had soda! It was like a mini gas station in there. And he be telling us not to eat junk food. I couldn't resist. I grabbed a handful of cookies, then another, and before I knew it, the stash was gone! Then I heard him in the driveway.
You know what I feel like doing right now? Eating some cookies.
So I had no choice but to replace the cookies with crackers and hope he didn't notice.
Don't mind me. I just gotta go to my room to get something.
Okay, I hope it ain't those cookies.
Who was in my room?
That's when I learned. Stealing snacks is risky, but replacing them with saltines is how you get a spanking. I'm sorry! When I was a kid, recess was the main event. You could have had the worst morning ever, but once that bell rang, it was game time. So one day, Brayton's out there holding the basketball on his shoulder, posing like he's on a magazine cover, and he had everybody's attention. I wasn't about to let that slide, so I grabbed the ball, spun it in my hands and said, "Y'all think that was cool? Let me show y'all this little move my dad taught me. This move is called hit the whoa and let it flow." The only problem was, it didn't flow. It flew. And of course, it lands perfectly in the teacher's coffee. The playground goes silent. Even the swing stopped swinging.
Somebody's gonna pay for my coffee. Nice shot, Michael Jordan.
I tried to play it cool like, yeah, that's the remix version.
You can remix your way to detention.
That's when I learned trying to look cool doesn't always end cool. Sometimes it just ends in cleanup duty. When I was a kid, my dad had this one sacred item, his foot massager. Nobody was allowed to touch it, or else.
Don't you even think about it.
So one Saturday, I'm chilling in the living room, bored out of my mind, and went upstairs to ask my dad if I could ride my bike. He wasn't in his room, so I looked out the window and noticed his car was gone. As I was leaving his room, there it was, the foot massager. It was just sitting there tempting me. "Come on, Desmond, stick your feet in. Your dad won't find out." "Yes, he will. He always finds out." "Trust me, Desmond, he won't." Okay, just one foot. Doesn't that feel good? "Oh, yeah." "You might as well put the other foot in." "All right, just for a second." "Oh, yeah." "Doesn't that feel good? I told you, man." Foot massager, why did you stop? That's when I realized it was broken.
Whoa, my feet hurt. Oh, I know. I'm gonna use my foot massager.
No! So I started packing my clothes to run away from home, but it was too late.
How does your feet feel, Desmond?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're gonna be sorry. Did I tell you not to use my stuff?
So it's October 31st, Destiny's birthday. But every year, Halloween steals the spotlight. So this year, I wanted to make it her day. I rushed downstairs to make her favorite breakfast, chocolate waffles. But then I realized we have no syrup. So I hop in the car, drive to the store, and that's when I see the balloons. She deserves a little birthday party. So instead of syrup, I leave with snacks, chips, and a new plan. I start inviting friends on the way home.
Yo, come through, it's gonna be fun.
I get home and tell Destiny to take the kids to their grandparents to trick or treat. And now it's go time. Except, I never got her a gift. So I run out again. 3 stores later, I finally find something nice. I get back to the house and everyone's already there. But then I remember I never got a birthday cake. So I'm back in the car racing to the bakery and the baker is moving so slow. By the time I get home, it's nighttime and the party's over. Babe, I'm sorry I ruined your birthday. What are you talking about? I had a blast. Thank you so much. That's when I realized sometimes it's okay to miss your wife's party as long as you make sure it happens. When I was a kid, my dad had one rule after school.
Take the chicken out the freezer before I get home.
So my grandpa dropped me off early one day because I was sick and I took a nap.
Desmond better have took my chicken out because I'm hungry.
Oh, snap! The chicken! I sprint to the kitchen, grab it from the freezer, and toss it in the sink like that's gonna do something. It's still hard as a rock. I fill the sink with hot water and nothing. I grab the hairdryer, it's still frozen. So I do the only thing my panicking brain could think of. Spray it with fart spray. So Dad would think the chicken went bad.
Desmond!
Yes, Dad?
But why didn't you take the chicken out?
Because it stinks. Smell it.
That can't be. I just bought this chicken. Whoa! What the heck?
I'm smiling inside thinking I'm in the clear. But then he finds the fart spray bottle in the trash.
You sprayed my chicken with this?
Huh?
And was it because you forgot to take it out?
Yes, I'm sorry, Dad, I'm sorry. when I learned trying to fake a rotten chicken just gets you cooked instead. When I was a kid, my dad had one rule.
Nobody touch my autotune. Don't even look at it.
So one day he leaves the house and I wander into his studio like I'm not breaking 14 rules at once. But then I see the headphones sitting there, glowing, calling my name. I slip them on, walk up to the mic, and start singing. Ooh, ah.
And oh my goodness, I sounded amazing.
I start going crazy. Hey, yeah, yeah. But then I see a knob, a shiny silver knob, and it starts speaking to me. Turn me, Desmond. So I turned the knob, thinking I was about to sound real good. But instead, my voice sounds like a broken robot falling down a flight of stairs. So I start twisting the knob even more, but the more I twist, the worse it gets. So I decided to just leave it.
What did I say about touching my autotune?
Oh no! Dad, listen, I can explain. That's when I learned autotune can fix your voice, but it can't save you from a whooping.